Hello, this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we're doing perimeter, area and volume challenge questions. So if you've been working through this chapter with me and you've thought that everything's gone pretty smoothly, pretty easily so far, and you'd like to challenge yourself a bit, these questions aren't really your typical questions. They're a little bit harder than you probably see in a test. But if you like a bit of a challenge, then these questions are for you. So let's have a look at question 1. A builder needs to build a wall 2.16 meters high. If each layer of bricks adds 12 centimeters of height, how many layers will he need? So we have a wall, and the height of the wall is 2.16 meters tall. And we want to add the layers of bricks that make this wall. Each one of those little layers there is 12 centimeters. So how many layers are we going to need to do the whole wall? Well, we would need to divide this by 12. But the catch is that this measurement is in meters and this measurement is in centimeters. So first of all, let's change 2.16 meters into centimeters. So to change meters to centimeters, we need to multiply by 100, making that 216 centimeters tall. And then we just need to go 216 divided by 12, and you could do that with non-calculator methods if you'd like to, or on the calculator. 216 divided by 12 is 18. So that means you need 18 layers of bricks. Okay, question 2. A rectangular garden, 9 meters by 14 meters, has a path of 1.5 meters wide all the way around it. Find the area of the path. So let's draw a diagram. What we've got is we've got a rectangular garden in the middle, surrounded by a rectangular path, which would look something like that. If this is the garden, and that's our path going around the garden. So the garden in the middle is 9 meters wide and 14 meters long. The path is 1.5 meters wide. That's that distance there. Okay, so what we want to do is find the area of this path. So we would need to find the area of the outside rectangle and subtract off the inside rectangle. The tricky part is to get the dimensions of the outside rectangle. So if it is 9 meters here for the little rectangle, we have 1.5 meters on this side and also 1.5 meters on this side. So altogether that's an extra 3 meters that we need to add to the 9 meters, making that 12 meters wide there. It's the same going this direction. That would be 1.5 and that would be 1.5. So that's 3 meters that we need to add on to 14, which makes 17 meters. Okay, so now that we have the dimensions, our area is going to be equal to the area of the big rectangle, which is 17 times 12. Take away the area of the garden, which is 14 times by 9, and that will give us the area of the bricks. That's 78 meters squared of path, sorry, not bricks, path that we need around our garden. Okay, so for question 3, find the area of the shaded section. So we have a triangle in here that we're trying to find the area of, but to find the area of a triangle, we need to know a base and a perpendicular height. So we don't actually know any of the sides of the triangle, and we don't actually know if there's these are perpendicular or anything like that at all. So we can't actually find the area of the triangle. But what we can do is find the area of this outside shape, which is actually going to be a square because we have 18 meters here and 18 meters there. So if we find the area of this square and we subtract off these 3 triangles, we will be left with the area that we want. Okay, but we need to do a little bit of working out to find out the sides of our triangles. So this triangle, we have 10 and the 18 for the base and the height. But this one, I've only got a 5, but I don't know this side here. But we can work it out. We know if it's 18 the whole way across and 10 here, then this one here must be 8. For this triangle, we have 18 across here, but we need this side length. If this is 5, to make it up to 18, this would have to be 13 meters. Okay, so to find the area, we start with our square and we do base times height, which is going to be 18 times 18. Then I subtract off the 3 triangles. Let's start with this big one. So a triangle is half base times height. Half times 13 times 18. Now let's subtract off this triangle. Half times 10 times 18. Now subtract off the little triangle. Half times 5 times 8. And if we type all that in, we will find the area of the triangle. Which is 97 meters squared. Just draw a line down there so we can see the difference between that question. Okay, I have some more questions on the next page. Okay, for question 4, we want to find the volume of this prism. Now it is a prism, but it's not a rectangular prism. It's kind of got this extra bumpy bit hanging at the side. What we can do is we can imagine slicing this prism down here, slicing that part off so that we've actually got 2 rectangular prisms next to each other. Okay, so let's start with our little rectangular prism. Remember that the formula for a rectangular prism is LWH. So we have 2 by 2 here. 2 times 2 would give us the base of that shape, and then the height will be 8 centimeters. And that would be the volume of this little rectangular prism on the side. Then we want to add on our big rectangular prism, which has dimensions 4 times 5 times 8. Okay, and all we have to do is calculate that to get our volume. So that's 192 centimeters cubed. Okay, last question, number 5. How many 40 centimeter cubes, that's the side length is 40 centimeters, can be packed in a box 120 centimeters long, 80 centimeters wide, and 200 centimeters high? Okay, so if I draw a box, let's go 120 across the bottom here, 80 going back that way, and 200 high. Okay, and we have a little cube, all sides the same length, that are 40 centimeters. All these little 40 centimeter cubes that we want to see how many we can fit in this box. So let's just write on here, this is 120 centimeters, this is 80 centimeters, and this is 200 centimeters. Okay, so how many cubes could I fit across the bottom of this box here? I have 120 centimeters. If I divide that by 40, that means that I could fit 3 cubes. You can type that in your calculator if you like. 120 divided by 40. So that's 3 cubes. If you could imagine drawing them in there, I could have 3 little cubes packed in there like that. So that means I'm going to have 3 across the bottom there. Going backwards, I have 80 centimeters. Okay, If I divide that by 40, that means I can fit 2 cubes deep. Then going up, I have 200 centimeters. 200 divided by 40 is 5. You can do all of this on your calculator. Whoops. So 5. So that means I have 5. These are going to be 5 rows high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. So can you kind of picture that all these blocks, I've only done them one on each, but you could fill this all in and draw all those little cubes packed in this box. Basically what I have is 3 cubes across, 2 cubes back, and 5 cubes up. So if I want to know how many cubes can fit in this box, it's really just like doing a volume. It's going to be 3 times 2 times 5. So 3 times 2 times 5 is 30. So that's my answer. Therefore, 30 cubes can fit in the box. Okay, that's the end of my challenge questions today and the end of our chapter on perimeter, area, and volume. I'll see you next time. Bye.